Martin Amidu orders CJ Torkornoo to shut up. Martin Amidu orders CJ, in fact, former CJ Torkornoo, to shut up. She became the 15th Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. She took over from a man, Eninyeboa, my brother, my sister, who had retired. And she became one of the very few females who rose to that point of calling themselves the Chief Justice. She was called to the Supreme Court somewhere in 2019 as a Supreme Court judge. And then 2 years ago, in 2023, she became the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. When Eninyeboa, the then Chief Justice, had just retired. My brother, my sister, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was full of energy and hope that this woman was going to be able to carry her duties very, very well. The first thing she did was to run to church and give thanks to Jesus Christ for making her the Chief Justice. Many were those who were in the church singing and dancing to the glory of the Most High. After all, the Bible says, make merry with people who make merry. In other words, rejoice with people who rejoice. They were happy for her. The church was so excited. But some inner wranglings came in, and the fight became so deep. Now, at the time that Gertrude Esaba Torkornoo was made the Chief Justice, in fact, we all were excited that a woman had risen to that point. She wasn't the only woman who had reached there, but for a reason, we were most excited, even though we had come to dislike the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. The regime was nothing good to write home about. We hated that regime. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, things happen to this woman. A gentleman called Daniel Ofori decided to go to court. Not just any court, but the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court, in fact. And what was his complaint? Simple. This woman is biased towards me. I don't want her to hear any of my cases. And it was upheld. So Gertrude Torkornoo was stopped from hearing any case that had to do with Daniel Ofori. In fact, the boss and founder, CEO and director of Whitechapel, an apparel outfit right here in Ghana. At the age of 15, he was already a millionaire. Daniel Ofori succeeded in getting Gertrude Esaba Torkornoo sidelined when it came to hearing his cases. And when he heard that the same woman had risen to the Chief Justice, I think the best thing Gertrude Esaba Torkornoo should have done was to invite Daniel Ofori over to say, listen, we have had some bad days and all that, but right now, I think we should put aside all these things and rise higher. She didn't know that there was a silent storm brewing. My brother, my sister. But there was a man, a lawyer, who was not happy about the appointments to the position of the CJ by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. My brother, my sister, and you know what happened? He held his peace until now. Who are we talking about? My brother, my sister. You know who we are talking about? He said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was in fact appointing babies as Chief Justices. This is the man. We all know who he is. And watch this story from Ghana. Akufo-Addo appointed babies as Chief Justice. This is Ansah Asare. My brother, my sister, Kweku Ansah Asare. It says a former director of the Ghana Law School, Kweku Ansah Asare, has accused former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of breaching constitutional conventions in the appointment of Chief Justices during his tenure. According to Ansah Asare, the former president overlooked the established practice of allowing the most senior justice to act as Chief Justice whenever a vacancy arose. Instead, he claimed Akufo-Addo bypassed senior members of the judiciary and elevated relatively junior judges to the highest office of the judiciary. The then president threw away the constitution, which stipulates that when there is a vacancy, the most senior must act, he said. He further described some of the appointments as elevating babies to the prestigious role of the Chief Justice. Ansah Asare made these remarks whilst reacting to the recent appointment of Justice Paul Bafo-Bonney as Chief Justice. He shared his views on the Citizen Show, hosted by Kwabena Bobie Amsa on Accra 100.5 FM on Tuesday. That's yesterday, September the 23rd, 2025. In contrast, he commended President John Dramani Mahama for adhering to the constitutional practice by maintaining the tradition of appointing the most senior justice at the Supreme Court to act as Chief Justice anytime there is a vacancy. Oh, wow. So this is Ansah Kweku Asare, the former lecturer and director of the Ghana Law School. He said Nana Addo forced mangoes to ripe. He put in babies with sharp teeth as appointed Chief Justices. It looks like Ansah Asare might be right. It looks like he has hit the nail right on the head. Was that why Gertrude Torkornoo made a few errors left, right, and center? Was that why she abused her office, traveled around and blew the country's money on her family, decided to go against standard norms? A committee sits, comes with a conclusion, she overturns that and goes her own way. She is the supremo, better than the committee. As we were told, my brother, my sister, but Martin Amidu has also spoken. He's kept his silence for so long. He is a man who is well respected in the legal profession. He is a senior. He's more than just matured. He has spoken finally. What has he said? He wants Torkornoo to shut up. Martin Amidu breaks silence on removal of Gertrude Torkornoo. Run it, my youths, and watch this. Former special prosecutor Martin Amidu has stated that former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Torkornoo was lawfully removed from office on September 1, 2025 as both Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court. Amidu has dismissed Torkornoo's legal challenge as inconsistent with established constitutional law, pointing to the Supreme Court's landmark decision in a J. Chum versus Attorney General and Akwete 2025-2026 ruling. Now, the removal of the Chief Justice pursuant to Articles 1, 4, 6, 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is conterminous with the removal of the Chief Justice as a Justice of the Superior Court under Articles 146 of the 1992 Constitution, he argued in a statement on September 22, 2025. Dash it away. It's the same thing lawyer Thaddeus Sori is saying. And remember, we carried the story a few days ago. It looks like the Chief Justice has become so desperate. It looks like the former Chief Justice has regretted her act of sidelining a certain plea deal that she was supposed to have with the President of the Republic of Ghana, as we were told by people like Amalaba. My brother, my sister, what was the deal like? the former Chief Justice, spoke with the President of the Republic. Well, I see that people want to remove me. I see the petition is coming. Many more people are coming in. I think that I will leave. And it was agreed that if she decided to resign on her own, she will resign on her salary and other benefits. But her lawyers seemingly told her that she had a case. It was time to go to court and embarrass the government and flex legal muscles. Unfortunately, everything fell flat to the ground. Now she has been sacked with no benefits. She would go home with no fowl for Christmas. All the Christmas lights are dim. And tomorrow when she decides to fly to Tanzania, she might go in the economy class where I always sit. And if I happen to sit with her in the economy class, I will have a beautiful conversation with her. As to what that conversation would be, I don't know, but I know it will be beautiful. My brother, my sister, many people are surprised that Martin Amidu, who is a critic of John Dramani Mahama, who Mahama himself had called a coward before, has come out to support a very dicey situation that many people think it was pure witch hunting to kick out the Chief Justice. But as it stands right now, it looks like even the so-called enemies of Mahama are supporting him. Kweku Ansah himself has been a critic of this government, but he has also come out to say that Gertrude Esaba Araba Torkornoo was a baby with sharp teeth in the world of law. There were more senior compatriots who should have been appointed. But for one reason or the other, she got herself there. What do you think about what Martin Amidu is saying? What do you think is going on? This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo.